So everyone keeps asking me, when are fully autonomous aircraft going to be ruling the skies and pilots standing in unemployment lines? And I think it's a fair question. With all of the developments with AI in the industry and all these fully autonomous Black Hawks you're seeing in the headlines now, I don't blame people for getting suspicious about what is coming. So in today's video, we're going to break down what's real, what's hype, and get into what might be coming our way. Hello, my name is Devin Rushing, and I'm an Army medevac pilot. So if you're new to the channel, my channel covers Army aviation and general aviation topics as a whole. So if you're into that, please give my channel a subscribe, give the video a like, and I would also like to state that all opinions are my own opinions and do not reflect or represent standpoints or official policy from the military. So I was doom scrolling the other night and I came across a project that was released by Sikorsky, and it's their new UHawk prototype that they've come out with. And those of you who have been following me for a while know my passion with aviation. I love being a pilot and I enjoy my job deeply. So needless to say, this system that they came out with kept me up. And I was kind of dwelling on the thought of this autonomous Black Hawk for quite a few days. So I'm going to play the clip so you guys know what project I'm talking about. All right, here it is, guys.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You may recall that last year at AUSA, we flew the optionally piloted Black Hawk, an autonomous system. We're back.
So the optionally piloted Black Hawk was the system that they flew, I think 2 or 3 years ago, where it wasn't a different variant. It was a Black Hawk that they outfitted that was optionally piloted, and it flew like a full mission. Not like just a point-to-point, not like an actual tactical mission, but it flew from point to point fully autonomously, and that was a few years ago.
Back again, and we've heard from our customers around the world of their needs. We've spent the last year getting to work, and we're here today to deploy something we're calling the Hawk family of effects. I introduced to you the S-70 UAS, or the UHawk.
There it is, guys. See it? Oh, my chair's gone. The chair that I normally sit in ain't there anymore. Where'd it go? This thing don't even have flight controls in it.
Aside from the fact that it just looks cool, from wheels up,
I disagree with his comment there. It does not look cool.
to touchdown, it's fully autonomous. And our Sikorsky Innovations team has proven the unmatched capability of the Matrix autonomy stack. Concept to concrete in 300 days. On our
concept to concrete in 300 days. That's a bold statement, but Sikorsky's a good company, so let's see.
Future, when we go into the fight, we don't want to win, we want to dominate.
Gotta admit, that guy was pretty motivating. So what are some of the mission sets and applications this UHawk will be utilized for? So one thing they are marketing heavily towards is sustainment and logistic missions. So think fuel, ammunition, beans, and bullets to a high-risk environment that could potentially jeopardize a human crew. And if I remove my emotion from it as a pilot and just look at it from an outsider standpoint, I can see why that would be a reasonable thing to want to apply this to. Now, I know what you're thinking. If you're a pilot, you're like, yo, dog, you cutting into my flight time, right? That's hours I could be accumulating. But removing all emotion, I can see that being a good use of this system. Now, I want to be very clear. Sikorsky has not made any claims about the UHawk being used for troop transport. Now, there has been some speculative claims from civilian outlets saying that it could be used for troop transport in the future. But what's important here is Sikorsky, the company that manufactures the UHawk, has not made those claims. Now, I just want you guys to imagine for a second, you're that ground force commander and somebody tosses you an iPad and says, hey sir, there's your ride for this mission. You look over and you see a UHawk cracking open its doors for you to get in. And you now have this iPad, and apparently it's the pilot, and you just hope it doesn't die before you get to the X. I certainly wouldn't want to be in his shoes. Now, another benefit that you're going to get out of the UHawk is it can carry 10,000 pounds of cargo, which is 25% more than it could carry in the Black Hawk piloted configuration. So with the removal of the cockpit and a slicked out cabin, I could totally see that being a reasonable number. So Sikorsky is saying that they are going to be able to start industry testing using this UHawk with its prototype in 2026. Now, keep in mind, that's Sikorsky. That has nothing to do with the military. So Sikorsky will have the final prototype ready, and they will start flight testing it in 2026, according to the Lockheed Martin website. Another thing to keep in mind is just because Sikorsky is going to start its industry testing on the UHawk in 2026 doesn't mean you're going to see this thing in the sky the very next day. There is still a long road ahead for the UHawk as far as testing it and certifying it through the FAA. I want you guys to think of the FAA much like the FDA. The FDA does not allow any prescription medication just to go into Walgreens to be sold to patients without years of clinical trials and testing on that drug. The UHawk is very similar, and anything in aviation requires a lot of testing by the FAA before it's fully certified and blessed off to go into market. A big discussion often talked about when you're talking about autonomous systems is the cost. A lot of people think that autonomous systems are going to be cheaper than maintaining pilot proficiency and training pilots. And that's not really the case. I think when you put things on paper, the cost really evens out, and I'll explain why. So, autonomous systems are very expensive. They're very expensive to develop, and they're very expensive to maintain. They're essentially a flying supercomputer, is what you have when you have an autonomous complex aircraft. Now, pilots are also very expensive to train, and they're also very expensive for them to maintain proficiency. But it's not where you're not going to really save a whole lot of money by going autonomous. Where you are going to save is time. Time is something that money cannot buy, and money cannot buy experience. So when you boil this down and you look at it from an aviator standpoint, it takes almost 2 years to train a brand new baby pilot. That pilot then has to go to a unit and make it through progression. Once they're out of progression, you put them in a mission set, and they spend years training in that mission set before they're a seasoned aviator that you can fully rely on and make the decisions that win days on a battlefield. That's where you're going to save a lot of your time, because autonomous systems, although they're not at this point yet, I think the direction industry wants to take this is you could take a fully autonomous system, build it, and the day it rolls off on the factory floor, that autonomous system is as good as a seasoned aviator of 10 years. And that is really where you're going to create a shortcut, if you will, and really where you win with technology over time. So yes, the technology is impressive, but it is not coming for our jobs anytime soon. And whenever it finally does make it through all of the testing and trials that it will have to go through, it will be an augmentation for a very specific mission set. It's not going to replace us. It's not going to take our jobs for a very long time. So if you thought you were done flying NVGs, getting yelled at by your IP for not maintaining altitude and airspeed, you can relax. You still got plenty of time for all of that. Plenty of time to accumulate hours and get better as aviators. And That about does it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a like, subscribe, and give me a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the UHawk. Until next time.